Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Missiles filled the skies over Tel Aviv, other Israeli cities, and as Iran retaliated for Israel's strikes on nuclear and military targets in Iran.
Israel also carried out a second round of strikes against Iran using warplanes and drones that were smuggled into that country. Fox 4's Shaun Rabb in studio now with the very latest. Shaun.
Yeah, and the very latest is that now Iran has launched its second attack against Israel. From the earlier attack today, some 40-plus Israelis have been injured. Meanwhile, Iran's UN ambassador says 78 people have been killed, more than 300 hurt. That country's supreme leader promised Israel will pay for what it has done. Israel's prime minister warning more to come in what is dangerously now more than a war of words. The sound of sirens mixing with explosions echoed through the nighttime skies over Israel as its Iron Dome defense was activated to thwart hundreds of ballistic missiles and drones launched at Israel by Iran. Retaliation for Israel's surprise onslaught targeting Iran's nuclear program and ballistic weapons Thursday. Many missiles launched by Iran were intercepted, some with the aid of U.S. ground defense systems. But some got through, causing damage and injuries in the Israeli capital of Tel Aviv.
The nation of Iran and the nation of Israel have been true friends since the days of Cyrus the Great.
Israel's prime minister went on TV with a message he said was to the Iranian people, explaining their operation is to remove nuclear and ballistic missile threats to his nation. Benjamin Netanyahu saying they've taken out top military commanders and senior nuclear scientists and the regime's most significant enrichment facilities, adding an ominous warning.
More is on the way. The regime doesn't know what hit them. They don't know what will hit them.
I think you're going to have a sustained campaign. The Iranians will have to respond. They can't let this stand without a response.
TCU political science professor Ralph Carter says the attacks as Israel tries to destroy Iran's nuclear weapons development, but questions the timing.
They were supposed to have Iranian and U.S. representatives talk face-to-face this weekend, and Israel chose to launch the attack just before it, which basically scuttled those talks.
Israel hit Iran with round 2 Friday as angry Iranians poured into the streets of Tehran. The government there reporting hundreds of casualties.
This is only going to engender more and more anger not only in Iran, but across the region. How do we get out of this? Diplomacy is the only way out of this.
Osama Khalil is professor of history at Syracuse University.
So unfortunately, I think what we're going to see is, and hopefully it won't, but I think we're going to see a lot more death and suffering before cooler heads begin to prevail and we can step back off the brink.
And right now, the focus is over the skies of Jerusalem, where many of the second round of missiles fired by Iran are being aimed. American air defense systems and Navy assets helped Israel earlier shoot down incoming ballistic missiles. They are probably in place and working right now. The United States has repositioned many military resources in the region to be ready to respond if necessary.
All right, Shaun Rabb in studio. Thank you.
All right.
Oil prices surged today following the escalation between Israel and Iran. The price of the benchmark U.S. crude jumped about 7.5% to more than $73 a barrel. Iran is one of the world's major producers of oil, though sanctions by Western countries have limited sales. Israel reportedly warned it would strike Iranian oil assets if there was retaliation like we saw today. If a wider war erupts, it could slow the flow of Iran's oil to its customers and keep the price of crude and gasoline higher for everyone around the world.
Well, stocks also took a dive today after missile strikes began between Israel and Iran. The Dow falling nearly 1.8%. The Nasdaq down more than 250 points. The S&P 500 also down.